Lovely to see you,
Likewise.
Hassan. And I really thank you for taking out this time. It's been wonderful. Your aura, I must say, has increased many-fold ever since I've seen the film. And I can all just tell you one thing, that there was a pin drop silence in the auditorium. After many, I think, years, I sort of enjoyed a film at PVR where there was absolutely pin drop silence. And this actually says a lot about the way you were, the story, the way it was told, and all compliments to the entire team, and specifically you, who carried
Thank you
the
so
film
much, sir.
so well. Really, I mean it. And you know, the testimony is that I must have written these questions 5 times. I started writing when I had not seen the film. And I said, चलो मैं थोड़ा बाद में देखूंगा पर पहले आज लिखता हूँ. And I read the synopsis and I said, let me write. And then I said, no, it's not happening. I wrote again. And
Okay.
then somebody told me, go watch the film and then write. And actually, everything changed because honestly, I felt that there was so much more that I needed to know from you. And thank you really
Thank you
for this.
so much, sir. I really have to say this to you. Thank you, firstly, for taking out time to conduct this session. Thank you so much. I know, and everyone here knows how busy you are. So thank you so much. And your humility is infectious. The honor is all mine. In fact, I would like to say thank you for giving us this platform.
I must tell you,
On
Vikrant, your story and my story in life, I wouldn't say 100%, but about 50% is true. Till about 20 years of my age, I couldn't speak a line of English. The only difference is your title said 12th class fail. I'm 12th class pass. That's all I've done. So basically, from doing a job for $30 a day to being today taking charge of PVR, I think it's been a big journey. I've sat on at the reception table. I've sat on exit doors, finished my work, did a lot of punching, filing. I've done all of that. I was in advertising for about 18, 20 years. And then, of course, for last 18 years with PVR. So that's been my journey. And exactly, I could sort of sense the struggle, the resilience that you showed in the film. That's fantastic. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Uh,
I honestly didn't know about this.
yeah.
And thank you for sharing your journey with us. This is so inspiring. I mean, लोग कहते हैं, मतलब it'll be so easy. Like, had you not told me this, I would have probably thought, oh my God, he's the co-CEO of PVR. But you really don't know what that journey has been like.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing this journey with all of us.
And,
And I'm
and
sure everyone who's watching us here is definitely going to get inspired.
thank you so much. Thank you. I really wanted to ask you, you also, when I went through your little filmography, and you've done fantastic work, a long journey, you've done television, you've been a lone artist, you've been entitled and privileged, if we can all say
Of
this
course.
about each other.
Of
And
course.
then, of course, this role, which was completely the opposite. What did you have to really do to sort of portray? And again, I will come back when I was writing a question. We realized that we were writing the question for the character. And then I sort of really tapped my head saying, he was the actor, he's not the real guy. What am I asking him? So actually it became so real. The lines between what you portrayed and who you are as a person completely got blurred. How did you sort of get there? Was the real man on the sets helping you with this? How did that happen?
Uh, Firstly, thank you again. Thank you for your generosity. It really means a lot. I think there is no bigger compliment when anybody who's seen your work, when they say the lines have been blurred. So I think that's the biggest compliment. So thank you once again. Uh, there was a lot of prep involved in this film. I think for all of us, including Vidhu Vinod Chopra ji, to the smallest contributor in our film. I think all of us got together. I can also say we were all like-minded people getting together to make a film which felt very personal. One of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of this incredible story of this magnanimous personality called Manoj Kumar Sharma was because I think I saw bits of my own life. Here was an opportunity, and we've heard it time and again. Cinema and art imitate each other from time to time, but it has never gotten closer than this.
True.
Never
True.
gotten closer than this. So by the end of it, what you see on screen is, of course, adapted from the book 12th Fail itself. What you also see is Vidhu Vinod Chopra's life, his own struggles, his own worldview, and bits of mine and bits of every single person. And when we realize that, yes, this story is actually resonating with most of the people, we thought that why not go out there and tell the absolute truth, which is it is based on a true story, but it is inspired by a million true stories.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's about it. So there were so many moments in this film wherein I personally saw my own life play out in front of me, and how many actors or how many artists or how many people actually get an opportunity to attach yourself with something like this. The lines here in this case were also really blurred out. And as I said, Manoj Kumar Sharma, Shraddha Joshi, it is their story. They have been an inspiration already because the book already has a cult following in itself. The challenge was to adapt it into a script and bring it out to people. And who better than Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra to do it the right way?
Absolutely.
And it's an amalgamation of so many things coming together. So I think that's how I think all of us got together. It really felt very personal by the end of it. It really didn't feel like we are on a movie set wanting to tell a story which should be successful because that is the way it ought to be.
Absolutely.
Here we were wanting to go out there, tell a story with utmost sincerity and intent, and not worry about what the byproduct would be. And that sense of fearlessness, I think, was inculcated from the word go, from the top itself, which is Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So how real is this real story? How close did you come really? Was it about 90, 95, 100%? This was something because normally such stories always end with showing some picture of the character and stuff like that. Although I missed that during the credits. So I really wanted to ask you this. How real was it really, in the sense we can imagine some parts would be dramatized for a certain part, but any sense of how real was this real story?
If I am to put any number to it, I can very proudly say 85% is as what it is supposed to be. You like, I kind of don't like this word, but I can't find a better alternative. There is a sense of creative liberty which one takes, also because you cannot have everything from the book adapted into the script. It would then be a 2-part movie. There were so many things that we had to omit by the end of it. So 85%, I can very proudly say, is actually what happened. There have been moments of dramatization purely because of the narrative itself. We are in the business of making movies. There has to be a semblance and balance of narrative and some sense of there are many variables, if I can put it very briefly.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah. So, for example, if I am to put it in real life, the letter which Shraddha gives to Manoj was before the interview. What we did was we just shifted the reading of the letter while the interview was being conducted.
Right.
But the wordings of it, what was written in the letter, what the intent was, remains the same. There was another moment which I would love to share with everyone who's listening to us. Manoj sir actually also used to dog walk in Delhi. He used to take dogs. He would get paid $400 a dog a month, and he would take 4-5 dogs to make ends meet. We wanted to inculcate that in the script, but we could not because we wanted to sort of trim it down. So I would say 85%. here and there, a few things just
Thank you.
underlined and highlighted
Really.
for the right effect. And I
Really.
think we did a good job in that.
Really. Vikrant, one thing that you really wanted people to take away from the film, I will tell you what I took away, but more importantly, because to each to his own story, and hence the takeout. For me, my mantra and the film really resonated. I thought there was a commonality there. What is it that you wanted people at the end of it to really take out, specifically the youth? Given the fact that it was kind of targeted towards them, what is it that you were, that one word, if people would come out and say, this is something that I've taken out, and what you would say, wow, my job is done.
So the beauty of this story is that there is not one takeaway.
Yeah.
But if I am to sort of scratch beyond and look for that one thing, I would say the spirit of never giving up.
Tenacity was my word.
The tenacity.
Came up with, yeah,
Absolutely. The tenacity that all of us possess within. We have been survivors. We have survived time and again. Now, if I am to go back to modern history, and I'm talking about Indians per se,
True.
we have this tremendous tenacity to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. We've been mauled, we've been butchered, unfortunately, from time to time. But as a very young nation of 75 years, I think we've done remarkably well. And sometimes, what I personally feel is that we tend to give up earlier than we should. We tend to not recognize that tenacity which is actually within our own DNA, and hence that kavita from Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, which goes like, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता. So we've been survivors. And most importantly, through this film, as going back to the question, if there is one thing that I personally really wanted youngsters, especially the youth of our country, realizing that we are actually the youngest nation on earth. More than 50-55% of our population is below the age of 35. I would have wanted them to walk out after the movie with this never attitude, to be unfazed in the face of challenges, if I am to put it that way, and to inspire and to look within. Impossible is nothing. This was one thing that I really wanted people to walk out with, because for me, if you look at my own life, or if I look at my own life, I never in my life 10 years ago would have imagined that I will be doing a live session with the CEO of PVR Cinemas. But here I am. I would have never thought that I would actually have people giving standing ovation to my movie after the film is over. But I kind of resisted, I persisted, I fought my way through my own challenges. I always saw challenges as an opportunity. I was never daunted or sort of overawed by the challenges that were thrown at me. And life in itself is a challenge. Hence the word restart as well. I think all of it is so synonymous with the nature of life in itself. And these are the things, there are so many things I can actually go on and on about.
Absolutely. And would you tend to say, because at least when we begin to talk and look around, we feel that this tenacity is a lot more in the tier 2 kids today than in the tier 1 more privileged kids. Would you sort of endorse that, or would you say that you rightly said everybody has it, everybody is looking for that calling, and I think when that calling comes, I think everybody shows that tenacity, whether it's about bodybuilding or whether it's about something else. But the real thing is that do you sort of tend to feel this a lot more within the slightly more underprivileged kids today who've not got it on a platter than kids who've really been served on a platter?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, this is a tightrope, but if I am to speak my heart out with utmost honesty, I think yes. Uh, why? I think there are many reasons for it. As I speak about it, I will also concede that I am not absolutely sure of why. But my experiences, especially when I travel a lot, the nature of my job involves a lot of traveling, observing, meeting people from different social, backgrounds. I personally feel that yes, there is that gumption or that fire within, if I am to put it in colloquial language, the fire within tier two, tier three cities, the youth especially, it is slightly far more.
Um,
Uh, maybe because of lack of opportunities. Maybe because they are somewhere down the line stuck in a time
mm,
warp. For example, when I was in Trumbull filming for 12th Fail, I felt I was immediately transported back to 2003, which is 20 years back.
right, right, right. Yeah.
And so maybe lack of opportunities, or maybe our ignorance to their calling has probably attributed that fire or gumption within that. Uh, Maybe because of the density of people as well. Because today we just don't
I would
have
also
people
say
in
exposure, Vikrant, a lot of
exposure.
exposure.
Absolutely,
While they
exposure.
are small, they are underprivileged, but exposure है आईफोन का, exposure है बड़ी गाड़ियों का, घूमने का, अच्छे कपड़ों का. एक तरफ exposure है और एक
Correct.
तरफ आपके पास पैसे नहीं, या you don't have the opportunity. So actually this creates a void. If you close the exposure,
Yeah.
you will realize that they will be a lot happier. Maybe there will also be a lot more content.
Absolutely.
But uh, so even when your character got that exposure through that DSP,
Yes.
all of a sudden you said, "Oh, this is where I
This
can
is a
go."
possibility. This
Yeah.
is a possibility. I can achieve it.
Yeah,
Uh, I agree with you. Exposure is extremely important.
Yeah.
I think a lot of your self belief and confidence also stems from it.
Right.
Like, for example, if I am to speak about my own personal life, I have two beautiful nieces, born and bred and raised in Mumbai. And when I meet my other relatives or nieces the same age from maybe a tier 2 city or a tier 3 city, what I definitely see is the level of confidence each possesses.
right.
And that is, there is a stark difference in it, and the disparity that persists, I think that is the idea. I think all of us collectively want to sort of bridge that disparity to create a level playing field. And when I spoke to Mr. Manoj Kumar Sharma, and this we have very subtly tried to put through in the film, that हिंदी मीडियम वाले जो हैं, जो यूपीएससी के लिए अपेयर करते हैं, अगर आप सिर्फ, और ये सिर्फ एक रिप्रेजेंटेशनल पर्पसेस के लिए हमने कहा है कि अगर वो 2 लाख लोग एग्जाम देते हैं तो उनमें से 25-30 ही सिर्फ पहुंच पाते हैं. एंड वो इंटरव्यू में कहता भी है कि भाषा सिर्फ एक मीडियम है. And when I give the analogy of the glass, so I think there is a massive disparity which we need to recognize before we fix it. We just cannot go out there and wanting to fix it unless and until we realize what exactly needs to be fixed.
Absolutely. A fair point. Very, very fair. Vikrant, has anything changed within you after the film? एक तो होता है कि you just finished a film, you are too much in the skin. I genuinely feel you would be thinking and doing things a little differently for a much longer period of time, over 6-8 months maybe, or something that's kind of moved within you.
A lot.
Okay.
And thank you for this question, because I've been giving interviews for the last 20-21 days and nobody's asked me this, so thank you for this question. My time that I spent playing this character, creating something of my own out of the blueprint of Manoj Kumar Sharma, interacting with Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra, very closely interacting with Mr. Manoj Kumar Sharma and Shraddha Joshi. I think a lot of my outlook towards life in general has changed. And as you earlier put it so rightly, we come from privileged backgrounds. There are so many things which we think we might know of, but we actually don't unless and until you touch it and feel it. So I I recognize my blessings today far more than I used to before. And also at the same time, the strength of character within after spending time with these incredibly magnanimous people has kind of sort of amplified. I am far more resilient than I was before. You know, I would think earlier, like before I did this film or before I met these people, I've had the good fortune of meeting really strong characters, or people with uh, very sincere self-respect within. But here it kind of got amplified after spending time with Vidhu Vinod Chopra sir and Manoj Kumar sir, Shraddha Joshi, and even Vikas Divyakirti for that matter of fact. So a lot within me has changed. I recognize my privileges. I also, ये पता होता है, मम्मी पापा दादा दादी ये सब कहते हैं कि बेटा सच्चाई का रास्ता, झूठ नहीं बोलना, ईमानदारी से चलना. और ये एक सिर्फ एक कथा होती है, ये सारी चीजें आप सुनते हैं, बट जब आप उस चीज को रियल लाइफ में देखते हैं इन फ्लैश एंड ब्लड, तो विश्वास आपका बिल्कुल बदलता है. आपको ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं यार, वो जो कहते थे वो सच था, ऐसे भी जिया जा सकता है. Life is all about choices. If we go back to the very famous Herculean story wherein he was given a choice to choose between two paths and he chose the path that he did, or even Maximus Aurelius, a stoic who's really, really inspired me. After meeting these people, have realized that actually aise bhi jiya ja sakta. So there is far more strength of character within me after meeting these guys.
And which comes to my next question of saying, this jaspa to stay on the path, the right path. When you're in the film and it stays with you for a couple of hours, but how soon, when, as they say, when the rubber hits the road, everything begins to sort of take turns. So since morning, I was thinking of saying, how many times I would just unknowingly, you normally take paths which are all about survival and winning and stuff like that, and how easily you technically sometimes forget that, come what may, you will be on this path. How it's so difficult to do. And all of us, I think, go through that struggle. Is it any more amplified for you at this stage of your life after having finished this film?
Sorry, can you just repeat the middle section of your question, because there was a glitch. There was a network glitch.
I think doing the right continuously and making that the mantra of your life is a very, very, very tough call. Every day, how we talk, how we live, the decisions we make, we begin as human beings to make those compromises.
True.
At this point in time that you've just finished the film, is this feeling quite amplified within you?
Of course.
Saying, so, you must be really wanting to follow a path of being absent.
Of course. That's absolutely true. But I think this film and I found each other because we are like-minded.
Yeah.
I have always been that way. I have always wanted to, I would not want to say it the right way, because I don't think there is any right or wrong. I would want to do it my way, and my way to me seems right. There have been sorry, there have been times, and as you must have seen in the film there, that you are presented with multiple choices. Yeah. It's like a multiple choice question. You either choose this or you choose this. But the idea is to sort of keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. And coming back to the question, I think post this film, there is a sense of responsibility that, okay, you really have to walk the talk. You really have to walk the talk. But also, because this has been on my mind. A lot of people tend to equate, especially with actors, they tend to equate their characters with their real life personalities. Now that cannot always be the case as well. I might be doing a film tomorrow wherein I am shooting and killing 10 people. That does not signify my actual thought process. But in life per se, yes. I am glad that people have gone back home. The amount of messages that I've got, or the amount of respect and love that all of us are getting, I think there is no bigger pat on your shoulder than people saying you've inspired us.
Right.
So in my real life, I would do whatever within my capacity to walk the talk that I have set out on. I hope.
Awesome. Vikrant, at least within our business, exhibition business, we are talking about a lot about the transition today. We keep our ears to the ground, we keep talking to the consumers. And there's one big shift that's happening where consumers are saying, they're not saying it in that way, but we've kind of coined it to say they're moving from stars to stories. The whole idea is about saying, yes, we love stars, we like the big scale, but what we really now sort of are looking for are great stories. And when I see films such as this also being backed and marketed well, uh, it just makes our job so much easier. Hats off to Z, Vidhu Vinod Chopra ji, you, and I'm sure everyone
And
who's played a part.
PVR
Right?
and
Yeah,
PVR. You have
yes,
to give it to
absolutely. Very.
PVR and PVR.
We really,
And thank you.
and I must tell you one thing, Vikrant, for your film, we were we were supposed to close down this promotion that we are doing, where we've launched a promotion called PVR Passport.
Oh, wow.
A PVR Passport is in 699 rupees. You can watch 10 movies
Wow.
a month. 69 bucks a movie. Okay.
Incredible. Incredible.
And we kept this on because we genuinely feel that more than the blockbuster, we know in a month a guy will come and watch 2-3 big films, but we really wanted to take the friction of ticket price and everything away and say, now come watch a movie at 70 bucks and watch all these great mid and small scale films and sort of promote them, because people are dying to come. And yesterday, not because I went to my own cinema, but I'm telling you, it's so rare to find 60% or 70% of the Audi full, and there was a pin drop silence. Nobody was even asking for a popcorn, and that wasn't so. I was not making me very happy. But the fact is, people were just glued, and there was pin drop silence, and I think that was just fantastic. And I think I wanted to take this opportunity, this platform, to thank you, to thank Vidhu Vinod Chopra ji and Z and everyone.
I, on behalf of my entire team, would want to thank you. You've been generous enough. You've been absolutely generous enough to not mention your name. But I know it for a fact that yes, it is Z Studios, yes, it is Vidhu Vinod Chopra and all the stakeholders who've come together believing in this film. But I would want to extend that to you as well, because I know what has actually gone behind the curtains for PVR also to take it up personally and bring this film out. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But coming back to your question.
That's right.
Coming back to your question.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something. Sorry.
No. Please, carry.
Coming back to your question, I think the last 10 years or so, our consumption patterns have changed.
Yeah.
When you talk about a smaller film or a mid-budget film like 12th Fail doing really, really well in cinema halls, it is also a byproduct of the audience's consumption patterns.
Yeah.
And people today, yes, they want to watch good stories. They want to find a piece of themselves in the stories they watch. But I think there is enough space under the stars for everyone to shine. There will be those magnum opuses, those larger-than-life movies, which actually are a part of our staple diet.
Absolutely.
Which are a part of our staple diet. I think they should be there, because I personally enjoy watching them once in a while. But I also enjoy watching a film like 12th Fail.
Yes.
I also enjoy watching a film like Lipstick Under My Burqa, or
Absolutely.
A Death in the Gunj, which I have been proudly a part of. So the consumption patterns have changed, and as I said, there's a lot of space under the stars for everyone to shine. So
And
yeah.
when I saw, I must again come back to that point. When I saw full page ads being released for the film, when you all guys came out and started to market the film, I thought that was the kind of energy that we needed. So while there was a great, huge, positive energy in the film, which was all about Jaspa and restart, you were also in a way restarting this whole cycle, and that's when we said we will extend this PVR passport also. By the way, we now close it on the 15th, the subscriptions. We're overbooked, and we want people to buy this so that they can keep coming in for so many of these movies, and enjoy themselves. So I think it's fantastic.
It's an
So my
incredible
last question.
initiative, you know. I am like, I think abhi 15 तारीख में time hai. I am going to get my passport myself ASAP. There are 3 PVRs right next to my house. You know, I have that privilege of choosing either one of them. So
Awesome.
thank you for this initiative.
Just my last question. Where do we
Yes.
see you next, and which movie and what character? Anything that you can talk to us about that?
I have a few interesting things coming up. I have the sequel to Haseen Dilruba, which is called Phir Aayi Haseen Dilruba, coming out in the first half of next year. So, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I also have a very interesting film called Sector 36, which is produced by Dinesh Vijan from Mad Dog Films.
Lovely.
It is again based on true incidents, and again we've taken creative liberties to sort of assemble it into a film. Really interesting film. And then I have a film called Blackout. It is an out and out comedy caper, collaborated with Geo Studios again. So these are the films that are coming out, and I am really looking forward to collaborating with PVR again and bring out stories of relevance and
Thank you.
entertainment at the same time.
Absolutely. Pleasure, Vikrant, to speak
Thank
to
you
you.
so
It's
much, sir.
very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your time. And again, before we close, apologies for the delay. I am absolutely handicapped
You
with
covered it
technical.
beautifully, and I really enjoyed my conversation. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
And thank you to everyone who's sort of taken out time from their busy
Absolutely.
schedules, festivities. You know, thank you so much for joining us. Wishing everyone a very happy Diwali. And if you haven't watched it yet, please go to
Please
your
go.
nearest PVR. Go watch 12th.
Great.
Restart.